Starts tonight at 6:30 on the home of the Bucks, 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
Good morning, 10:01. We have 23 degrees. It's going to be sunny, breezy today with a high 29. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Connie Weber. President Trump's State of the Union address covered a lot of bases, including the economy, Iran, tariffs, and Mexico.
With polls showing he is losing ground on the economy, Trump painting a rosy picture ahead of the midterms, trying to convince wary voters Republicans can deliver.
Our country is winning again. In fact, we're winning so much that we really don't know what to do about it.
But the president also keenly aware he just suffered a massive blow to his economic agenda, coming face to face with some of the very justices who declared most of his sweeping tariffs unconstitutional, including Justice Amy Coney Barrett, who he nominated.
That's ABC's Rachel Scott. It was the longest State of the Union speech in history, clocking in at about an hour and 47 minutes. Vice President J.D. Vance making a trip to the Badger State tomorrow. He'll visit Plover near Stevens Point and tour a manufacturing facility. It's part of the congressional district represented by Republican Congressman Derek Van Orton. National Democrats have said it's one of two Republican-held districts in Wisconsin they are trying to flip this fall. The Kenosha Unified School District Board approved metal detectors and new screening policies Tuesday night. The decision comes after two students were arrested this month, including a 16-year-old accused of bringing a loaded gun to Bradford High. KUSC parent Edgar Navarez.
I support metal detectors because they enhance the safety of our kids from possible violence. Without them, individuals can potentially sneak in weapons and cause harm or more. Parents should never have to be worried to be sending their kids to school. There is nothing more important in this life than our children's safety.
In addition to walk-through detectors, the district also approved handheld screenings at a revised visitor policy. Several Wisconsin school districts suing the state legislature, alleging it's failing to adequately fund public schools.
The lawsuit argues Wisconsin public schools are in a crisis. Jeff Mandel is the founder of Law Forward, the Madison-based firm who filed the suit Monday.
These folks are not magicians. We do not have what we need for our schools to thrive.
Well, Governor Tony Evers used veto powers in 2023 to ensure districts can increase per pupil spending annually for the next 400 years. Without increased funding from the state, districts are forced to raise property taxes. The new suit will likely end up before the state Supreme Court. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Wauwatosa and West Dallas have agreed to merge their fire departments. Both common councils approving a 10-year contract to combine their resources, which will be called Milwaukee Metro Fire Rescue. Fire officials in both cities say no cuts are expected from the merger. Wauwatosa Fire Chief James Case.
We recognize both communities are very proud of their fire departments, both Wauwatosa and West Dallas, and so we know this is a big change and a big ask that we're looking to do. But it's one of those things we feel strongly we have to do at this point because both cities, both fire departments, our budgets continue to be impacted.
Service expected to start this April. A study last year found the merger could save both cities around $7 million. Search for the mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie still on in southern Arizona. The family of Nancy Guthrie upped the reward to $1 million on Tuesday. Callahan Walsh, executive director of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, tells ABC News that reward could bring out the lead that solves this case.
My father and I co-host America's Most Wanted, and we've been relying on the public for years to catch the worst of the worst. 17 guys off the FBI's top 10 most wanted list, nearly 1,200 fugitives, and the reward is absolutely helpful.
The 84-year-old Guthrie reported missing on February 1st. Pope Leo heads to Africa in April. The trip will mark the pontiff's first overseas trip of 2026. He'll visit Algeria, Angola, Equatorial Guinea, and Cameroon over the course of 10 days. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is up 141 points. NASDAQ up 204. S&P 500 up 35. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth. Annex Private Client. Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather up next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:05.
At Capri Communities, they believe people of every age deserve to enjoy life.
I recently moved my dad into a Capri community. He has gained such new independence. His falls have decreased, he's eating healthy meals, and going on great new adventures. Knowing Dad is in a great place really gives me the peace of mind I needed. And now, we're both enjoying life again.
Give the care that has your parent enjoying life again at Capri Communities. Get started today at capricommunities.com.
Don't miss the Beach Boys at the Bank 5-9 Main Stage at Wisconsin State Fair, August 16th. Get your tickets now at wistatefair.com.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanna Go.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch. Yes, Toradol is considered a strong pain reliever. It's one of the most potent non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs available. And absolutely, hyaluronic acid is used to treat shoulder, hip, elbow, and knee pain. It's a lubricating gel-like substance that reduces stiffness and improves mobility. It acts as a lubricant and shock absorber, reducing friction in the joint. And when we pinpoint the root of your pain, and we combine these powerful 100% FDA-approved pain relief medicines, if thousands of patient confirmations tell us anything, you're going to experience pain relief. And because of this, your quality of life increases, and you'll start living better. I'm Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas. There's much more to life that you've been missing because of your pain. This isn't even about taking a chance. It's about taking your first step to living pain-free. Go to rejuvenex.com to schedule your appointment so we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Call today, and there's a good chance we could be seeing you tomorrow.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Milwaukee Bucks beat the Miami Heat 128-117 at home. Bucks back on the court tonight for a home game against the Cavaliers. In men's college ball, Marquette beat Georgetown 76-60 on the road. Tonight, Wisconsin's on the road to play Oregon. Milwaukee hosts Youngstown State. On the women's side, Milwaukee will host Xavier for senior night, and Milwaukee will host Marquette will host Xavier. Milwaukee will host Purdue Fort Wayne. Badger Sports Update sponsored by Siding Unlimited. Siding and a whole lot more. Brewers cruise to their first win of the spring. Milwaukee beat the A's 10-0 in Mesa. Brewers host the Giants this afternoon. Take a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We did have a crash. It was off on the left shoulder. This is going to be I-94 West, about 2.5 miles beyond the ramp from Wisconsin Highway 100. It looks like that has been cleared off the roadway this hour. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Sunny, breezy 29 today. Mostly clear overnight with a low 17. Partly cloudy 39 tomorrow. Sunny, windy, mild Friday with a high of 54. Then a chance of light snow on Saturday, 33 for the high, and partly cloudy Sunday with a high of 29. 21 in Madison, 14 in Green Bay, 23 degrees in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:08.
Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue. It's time for Point Taken. Here are your hosts, Steve Scaffidi and Kristin Brey.
Listen, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo!
It is indeed. Welcome. What were you going to say?
I said it is indeed. Mind meld.
Mind meld. Psych, as I used to say when I was in high school, and you said the exact same word.
That was jinx.
No, we were psych. So
if
jinx
you said the same thing?
Yeah, psych. Yeah. Now yours is jinx?
I always thought it meant psych was like, just kidding.
No.
Well, like you say something and you're like, psych, not real.
Different things, you know? So it's also the day after the State of the Union speech. So as I said I would do, I sort of had it in the background. I was reading a book, Jonathan Haidt, The Anxious Generation, finished that last night. Brilliant book.
Impressed that you can read a book and have TV on at the same time.
Well, not if I'm trying to pay attention to the TV, which... I caught all the highlights. We're gonna go through some of our takeaways, and these are not just our takeaways. A lot of the people that watched. If I said to you, Kristin, I thought the speech was divisive, would you agree with that?
Yes.
Confrontational?
But there was a specific moment where it became very divisive. I would say that the first half, almost maybe even an hour, there was a lot of cheerleading, and it was more positive.
Yes. Even the beginning of the speech was
specifically
positive.
At the moment when he laid the trap to ask who agrees with this statement to stand up that the American government's responsibility is to protect U.S. citizens over illegal aliens or whatever exactly. Yeah, not illegal aliens. And all, if not most, I don't know if any Democrat actually stood up.
Yeah, I don't know. I doubt it.
And from that turning point on, it felt ugly and divisive and incredibly partisan. Yeah.
I mean, the president likes to use terms like the golden age of America, and his metrics are not, I think, most people's metrics. When you have, yes, the stock market is high. I'm not going to argue that. As somebody who benefits from that because of my 401k and investments, yes, I get that. And that's a feel-good thing that at least half the population can enjoy. There's also half the population that doesn't enjoy that, and that's where his attacks on affordability, essentially calling it a Democratic hoax, I think that rings hollow. One of the major differences that I've watched probably, I don't know, 25 of these, maybe more than that over all the years. I've been around longer. There used to be like a consensus moment or moments in these things where everyone rose.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I was paying half attention. Was there a moment when everyone rose?
Team USA.
Team USA.
When the hockey team came out.
Yeah, that
Thank
one.
everyone rose.
Mhm. That may be it.
I feel like there was one more that I'm blanking on.
I don't.
I know
see
for
one,
sure
so-
it was Team USA. And It was a
Yes,
cute
that was
moment
an
as
easy
far
one.
as the guys coming out with their gold medals.
All of them. As many as
no.
wanted to be there. Some didn't.
Five didn't go.
Yeah, some didn't want to go.
Which is interesting. 4 of the 5 are from Minnesota.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a correlation there or not, but I just thought that was an interesting
Yeah.
note. But yes, all but 5 made it to the event. That was a moment where I think everyone stood. I don't know if any of the other. There was a lot of medals given out last night.
Yeah,
lot
Medal
of
of Freedom,
medals.
including to
Yes.
the goalie.
So I don't know if there was other moments for some of the people who were recognized that got both sides standing, but it was largely a lot of Democrats sitting.
It's just it's different. There were some empty seats, obviously, because I think a number I saw yesterday was 50 members, senators or representatives chose not to go. Many of them did the alternative event. I think it was on the mall.
It was in the mall. It was called the People's State of the Union. It was
Yeah.
put on by Midas Touch, Move On, and I think the hosts were Joy Reid and Katie Fang, former MSNBC
Yeah, sounds right.
hosts.
The other
MS Now, sorry.
There was like a weird moment when the president was talking about the tariffs, and there was four Supreme Court justices there, which I read this morning was the exact same numbers last year. I thought it was a little higher.
Was it the
last year.
same 4 too?
I think so. Yeah.
You
So,
think Alito and Thomas just can't stay up that late?
I don't know what they're. I just don't think that's.
And
their-
also Sotomayor, because she's up there too. But as
I
far as
just
it's
don't
just
think
like,
it's their
this
thing.
is past our bedtime. We gotta go. We can't go stay up.
Clarence
for this.
Thomas is actually a very quiet person. He doesn't do a lot of stuff other than the stuff he does with his wife. He doesn't do a lot of public speaking. He's done a little more lately. He was also considered one of the most quiet justices in the history of the Supreme Court because he didn't rarely ask questions during debates or some of the arguments. So he's sort of that guy. It just was a weird time. The president called it very unfortunate that they had ruled against him on tariffs, but he basically said, I'm going to just do whatever I want anyway, which is sort of this president. A couple other things he talked about, and I don't know if you caught this, I highlighted it on our notes. He said that he had secured pledges from the tech companies, and he's pretty closely allied with some of these guys, and I say guys for a reason, to pay for the energy costs associated with their AI data centers. I would think that would have got everybody on their feet, and maybe it did. I missed it, but that's like most people think that, right? Especially in
Yeah,
this state.
I mean, but I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, and what does that mean exactly? He didn't go into a ton of detail. Another big moment that was sort of highly discussed on many of the talking head shows. Al Green from Texas.
Yeah. The same guy who got kicked out last year.
Yeah, 2 years in a row.
He made it less time this year. I think he kind of came in knowing that he was going to have his sign that says, was it did he say it was a black people are
aren't
not apes?
referring to what the president had posted.
And pretty quickly, as soon as the speech was started, was escorted out. I think he was the only one kicked out, despite the fact that Representative Ilhan Omar.
Yeah, and the representative from Michigan, whose name escapes me.
It's escaping me right now, too.
They both yelled at the president, called him a liar.
Well, no, it wasn't liar. It was that he's killed American citizens.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was...
But I don't think they got kicked out.
They didn't get kicked out. But I think the president noticed that.
He didn't take the bait, though.
No.
He didn't take the bait with Representative Green, and he didn't really take the bait. I mean, he's the one with the microphone. But he mostly stayed on the teleprompter, even though it was, I won.
You did. It was a 108-minute speech, and you weren't that far off.
My guess was an hour 45, so Price is Right rules. I did win.
Almost got 2 hours.
But he mostly stuck to his script, it seemed like.
Yeah.
And I think it was a speech that certainly appealed to his base and to MAGA. I would be interested to know whatever polling is going to happen, where some of the people he's lost since a year ago, as we see his polling numbers as bad as they've been. So some of the people who did vote for him, some of the people who were more positive and approved of the administration a year ago and currently don't, how they felt about it. Because I guess I'm not going to say that's the only thing that matters. Because right now, was reading this morning that there's more Democrats and Republicans said they are certain to vote this fall, 79% to 65%, which is a 14-point advantage, and it's the largest Democrats have reported on this question ahead of a midterm since 2006. So in motivating the base, potentially making up for enthusiasm, but also still, how did that independent swing voter feel about this after the fact?
Yeah.
I don't know. And I just don't know how that landed for people.
I don't think anything changed. I think if you like the president, you're still going to like him. And there's a lot more in the not like the president, because the approval numbers are horrible on almost every metric, whether it's immigration policy, the economy, healthcare, whatever. And I think Speaker Mike Johnson alluded to it either before or after the speech, that if they lose both houses, life's going to be miserable for Donald Trump. And then I guess the big question for us is life going to be miserable for all of us living under a Donald Trump who has essentially, other than executive power, no other power? Because he's going to get slapped down. This is my prediction. He's going to get slapped down a few more times by the Supreme Court. The obvious one to me is birthright citizenship, but we'll see. I mean, because justices can twist arguments in a lot of different directions. After the break, because we're way late here, should we ditch the State of the Union? Bill Maher had some comments on Friday. I don't know if you caught this.
I did not.
Yeah, so we'll play some of that audio. I'll give you my answer before the break. Yes. Quick break.
If you can't handle the noise, just stay home.
Rollins bounces off the defense of Zion, drives inside, lays it in with a foul. Ryan Rollins just keeps coming at you.
The Bucks face off against the Cavaliers at Fiserv Forum.
Ryan Rollins looking like a Harlem Globetrotter.
Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:30. We are the home of the Bucks. WTMJ.
Hey, it's WTMJ. Steve Scaffidi here for QC Kinetics. I benefited. I had my elbow pain eliminated last year. 5 great treatments with Dr. Ashley Caravane, a great QC Kinetics medical professional team, great communicators as well. They walk you through this stuff. Before you ever have any procedure, they tell you what's going to happen and what it's going to do for you. So and these are all real people and real stories. Mike training for a marathon, Kathy walking around Disney with her grandkids, Alan's back to work climbing ladders, which is no easy chore, even when you're not feeling any pain. All real patients, all understanding that the power of QC Kinetics, and I've told people this away from the show, let your body heal yourself. You don't need surgery necessarily. You don't need the meds that can be addictive and create their own set of problems and side effects. The body can heal itself, and it concentrates that healing power right where you need it. For me is my elbow. The sooner you start treatment, the sooner the inflammation goes away and the sooner that joint damage slows down. Here's what you got to do. Find out if you're a candidate and can work with QC Kinetics for one of the regenerative treatments. Easy way to do that, schedule a free consultation. 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559. QC Kinetics.
Your European experts at Fox World Travel are ramping up and busy as ever. When you want to see more of Europe, Princess Cruises delivers. With Princess Cruises and Fox World Travel, explore iconic Mediterranean ports by day, then relax in classic comfort by night. From immersive shore excursions to destination-inspired dining, every moment is designed to feel effortless. Ready to set sail on your Mediterranean adventure? Call 866-GO-FOX-GO or visit foxworldtravel.com to book your European getaway.
Thanks for tuning in to Point Taken on this day after the Supreme Court's State of the Union speech. Supreme Court was there, at least 4 members. Kristin and Steve on Point Taken. If you miss any or all of our show, you can always find it on the podcast page. And we know people find it because somebody said we had a little glitch, and we corrected it immediately. Thanks to Jazz for fixing that. People go find that podcast because they want to hear interviews that we did, or maybe you and I are engaged in a very spicy conversation.
Yeah, we just have, or people just can't listen live from 10 to 12.
People have lives. We get that.
I mean, this is the middle of the workday for most people.
Yeah. Well, it's the middle of our workday, too, because we're not even to 11 yet, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, as I've talked about before, we've played it. I played it on my old show. Bill Maher is somebody who, he offends a lot of people. He's like an equal opportunity offender. He's been very critical, though, of Democrats recently. He was always critical of Republicans, more so in his past shows and earlier in this edition of, was it Real Time? Is that the name of the show? I think it is.
So, that show's been on for long. I remember watching that show when I was still living in LA the first time. So, I think they're going on 20 years.
Yeah, it's a long time. And I've seen Bill Maher in concert in Vegas twice in the last 2 years. And having watched his shows, which are generally about an hour and a half, I saw him at MGM, and I can't remember where else he was. Equal opportunity offender. He goes after everybody. So people boo him. He doesn't care on both sides. Somebody walked up that had a Trump hat on when I was at the MGM Grand. They would have waited 5 minutes. He was blowing up the other side. It's like, you just spent all that money, like $150 a ticket, and you walked out in the first 15 minutes. Like,
Also, did you not know what you were getting into?
right? Like, did you just maybe?
Did you
somebody-
watch the show?
Yeah. Anyway, here's a little bit of, because we're talking about the State of the Union, a little bit of Bill Maher, his take on the State of the Union.
And finally, new rules since the State of the Union address is next Tuesday. Let's get rid of the State of the Union address before Tuesday. And here's why. Nothing has misled the American people to the warped belief that the president can act like a king more than this stupid, boring, performative after-dinner speech from hell, where the sergeant-at-arms announces the president like he's a king.
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
And he walks into the room like Conor McGregor heading into the octagon.
So we just played a little bit. He goes on for 8 minutes,
Of all the reasons he thinks we should get rid of it.
Yeah, I agree with him. It's too performative now. And I mentioned this before, when both sides stood up to cheer for something that whatever, it didn't matter who the president was.
The other one was getting rid of insider trading.
Yeah, that's always, and that should have happened.
And he quickly made reference to Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, of course. He picked the Democrat.
But yes, everyone stood for that as well.
Where do you fall on this?
Well, one of the texters makes a good point, is that we would have to amend the Constitution.
Yes.
I think the middle ground is you don't allow cameras.
That's interesting.
So if you to not amend the Constitution, obviously we still do it. But if you don't allow cameras and it doesn't become a spectacle, I mean, it's the same thing we talk about the drama and theatrics of congressional hearings, right? And it's become opportunities not only because the advancement of cable news, but then you are now with social media clip out those hot takes and big moments that get shared again and again. And so you are, not all, some are optimizing their time in congressional hearings for those moments to go viral. And similarly here, it's like, again, I have very mixed feelings, and I think that it does take more nuance, but that is a pivotal moment of when he laid, and I'll say it, I think he laid the trap to say, everyone stand who believes that the government's role is to protect U.S. citizens. And honestly, if he would have just stopped there and not added the versus illegal aliens, because I agree, like the government's role is to serve and protect citizens, the country. By adding the versus illegal immigrants, it adds this nationalism of us versus them. Like, that is the divisive language. But it did. It made Democrats look terrible for not standing, because their role is to protect their constituents and represent their constituents. And he knew they weren't going to stand because there's a protest to his administration. And so that's kind of a side tangent, but I wanted to get that part out as far as, like, it's not a good look. Like, I understand why they didn't stand, but it's not a good look. Anyways, I think if you take away the cameras and you keep it as the actual functional, and you let print reporters talk about what actually happened, maybe that's a good middle ground.
Yeah, I mean, Supreme Court doesn't allow cameras, but they now have audio, so maybe they understand something that we don't. I would think that'd be an interesting idea. Whether the networks would agree with it, because I don't. We'll see how big.
It'll be interesting what the ratings were. It'll also be interesting at how, like, the ebb and flow of ratings. Like, was there a certain point that a lot of people were like, this is boring, I don't like this, I'm turning it off? Did it, like, if it, like, started high and ended low, if it was sustained, it'll be interesting to see how the charts look.
I could tell you who would be against the idea of not broadcasting it or not having a State of the Union. Donald Trump, because he's a showman first and foremost, and this is what he lives for. It's why he's going to do these series of sort of election rallies across the country leading up to the midterms. I don't know that it's going to necessarily help him because his party's floundering in a lot of different ways. We'll continue the conversation on Point Taken. She's Kristin. I'm Steve. Thanks for joining us on the Hump Day edition, which is Wednesday right here on 620 WTMJ.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Capital Heating and Cooling and Abby Home. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Hey, WTMJ, Steve Scaffidi. How about this? If you're not sleeping, do you ever ask yourself why not? Is it because you're not getting enough oxygen, or you're not breathing properly, you're snoring, you're tossing and turning? Well, I had those issues, and I went to Advent almost 6 years ago. 30-minute visit, one of their great facilities. Their docs are amazing. They put me at ease. We added in a really simple sleep study at home, which sort of figures out what your sleep dynamic really is and how much you're waking up and how much you're turning around and all that stuff. They figured out for me, and which is a common problem. It's not the only problem, but it's one of many. For me, it was sinuses and nasal passages in my breathing triangle. After a short procedure done 6 years ago, breathing better than ever, and more importantly, sleeping through the whole night. So ask my wife, Kathy, if you see her, what she thinks, because I don't snore anymore. That's a big deal for a lot of people. If you struggle like I used to, and I say used to, take the time to see how Advent can help you. To find out breathing well and sleeping well can make your nights better, go to adventknows.com, schedule an appointment today, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Augustin Hadalick returns to the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra March 6th and 7th as soloist in Mendelssohn's soulful and fiery violin concerto. Don't miss this opportunity to hear one of the most celebrated artists of our time as he teams up with music director Ken David Mazur for an unforgettable concert experience filled with gorgeous melodies. Call the box office now to reserve your best seats at 414-291-7605 or online at mso.org. These concerts will also feature the mighty and romantic Symphony No. 3 by Johannes Brahms, as well as a self-described companion work to the Brahms Third by Detlev Glanert. It's a program of audience favorites that is sure to feature some of the most inspired music making you've ever heard. Don't miss Hadalick and Brahms at the MSO March 6th and 7th only. Visit mso.org for tickets and more information or call 414-291-7605.
When you're looking for new appliances, Menards is the place to shop. We have an excellent in-stock appliance selection from great brands at the best prices, ready to take home today. Whether you want new laundry appliances or need upgrades for your kitchen, you'll be sure to find appliances that'll make your life easier. Visit Menards and save big money on appliances today. Plus, check out Menards.com to view all of our great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
All right, it's that time of year again, and Point Taken is giving you a chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to the Brewers. All you need to do is subscribe to our newsletter, Extra Points, and you will be eligible to win. So it's a 4-pack of tickets, and it's going to be in section 117. I can say numbers. 117, so right behind home plate. And the Cruise game against defending American League champion Toronto Blue Jays on Tuesday, April 14th. To sign up, you just need to text the word extra to 855-616-1620, and we will send you a link to sign up for Extra Points. You'll get your first email on Sunday. Make sure we'll send you an email once you sign up for confirmation.
Yep.
Just check your trash or spam, because
Yeah,
sometimes it ends up there.
It's a fun read. It
is a fun read.
And if you stay subscribed through March 26th and beyond, you'll be eligible to win. We'll announce the winner on our opening day show live from American Family Field, or at least the mobile studio out there. So we're looking forward to doing all of that. Tons of people already signed up. We're going to do it every day between now and then. So if you haven't had a chance, extra's easy, 855-616-1620. Real quick on I got like 10 seconds. I scanned Twitter after the State of the Union last night quickly because I was laying in bed. If you're a Republican and you're just kissing the you-know-what of the president, how is that like critical analysis? It's like, you just agree with everything he said? Really? How does that benefit anything? It's like Democrats kissing Democrats' butts. It's like, what's the power of that? It's just cheerleading. It's stupid. If you have something to say something that's actually divisive or would raise someone's eyebrow. News is next.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Confirmation hearings today for Dr. Casey Means, who has been nominated to be the next Surgeon General. Means is a close ally of Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a known skeptic of certain vaccines. Republican Senator Bill Cassidy asking if Dr. Means would advise parents to vaccinate their own kids against diseases like measles and whooping cough.
Some have been scared to vaccinate their children because they've been told incorrectly that vaccines cause autism. Do you believe that vaccines, whether individually or collectively, contribute to autism?
Senator Cassidy, you're a physician, I'm a physician. The reality is that we have an autism crisis that's increasing.
President Trump talking about the economy, foreign policy, immigration during last night's State of the Union address. Talks going on in Geneva between Iranian officials and U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner. A dozen F-22 fighter jets in the region now, too. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:31. I'm Connie Weber. A Milwaukee police officer has been criminally charged for allegedly misusing department technology. 33-year-old Josue Ayala faces one count of attempted misconduct in public office. According to a criminal complaint, Ayala is accused of using the department's Flock technology license plate tracking system to check on the whereabouts of two people for personal reasons. Prosecutors say Ayala ran the license plate of one victim over 120 times and a second one over 50 times. If convicted, he could face up to 9 months in prison and a $10,000 fine. The scheduled Steve Martin and Martin Short show at Milwaukee's Miller High Life Theater this Friday postponed following the death in Short's family, that of his daughter, Catherine Short, who died at the age of 42. The Pabst Theater Group says tickets for the February 27th show will be honored at an eventual rescheduled date. Harley-Davidson ending its annual Homecoming Festival in Milwaukee. Since 2023, the four-day events featured concerts and other activities in Veterans Park. Harley-Davidson will instead return to milestone anniversary celebrations every 5 years. This change comes under new CEO Artie Starrs. Meanwhile, Harley-Davidson renewing its multi-year partnership with Summerfest, which includes July 4th fireworks to celebrate America's 250th birthday. Time for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is up 216 points, 49,391. NASDAQ up 233 points at 23,097. S&P 500 up 44 points at 6,934. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Take a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We had that earlier crash on 94 West about 2.5 miles beyond the ramp from Wisconsin Highway 100. It has been cleared off the roadway. There may still be some residual slowing in that area. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Sunny, breezy, 29 today. Mostly clear tonight with a low 17. Partly cloudy tomorrow, high 39. Sunny, windy, but mild tomorrow with a high 54. Then a chance of light snow on Saturday. 33 for the high. Partly cloudy and 29 on Sunday. Still 21 in Madison, 15 in Green Bay, 23 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:33.
From those with no experience to firearms enthusiasts, all are welcome at Mission 94 Firearms Education Center. The staff is deeply committed to providing a welcoming and engaging environment for everyone at every level. Learn the right way to handle firearms, level up your skills, and experience replica firearms from different historical eras while learning about their role in protecting our freedoms throughout history. Visit veteran-owned and managed Mission 94 in Kenosha today. Check out the 5-star reviews. Just Google Mission 94.
Hey everybody, it's WTMJ's Debbie Loziga for Access Legal. I see firsthand how hard Wisconsin workers push themselves. From the construction crews on the roads I monitor every day to the countless jobs that strain the body over time. For many, that wear and tear turns into real pain. My friends at Access Legal understand what you're going through and they want to help. Their team has recovered more than $35 million for Wisconsin workers and will fight for the benefits you're entitled to as well. Worn down by work? Contact Access Legal for a risk-free consultation. That's AXIS Legal.
Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. As the days get longer and Wisconsin weather shifts, it's a good time to check your home's comfort. If your house felt drafty this winter, it may be time for an upgrade. Hometown offers energy-efficient windows and doors from Bella, Marvin, Anderson, and more. All on display in their New Berlin showroom, all installed by Hometown employee carpenters. Wood, vinyl, or Fibrex, they have options for every budget. Call my friends today at Hometown Windows and Doors. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need.
Welcome back to, well, you didn't go anywhere. You're listening along to all the partner ads from all of our great partners here at WTMJ. She's Kristin, I'm Steve. It is the Wednesday Hump Day edition of Point Taken. Yes, Kristin?
So someone just texted in. It's an interesting is it philosophical? It's an interesting question. If you disagree with someone, isn't that divisive? I would say no.
No. Doesn't have to be. You just disagree.
I don't think those are two. I think those are two different things. Being divisive versus
I
think it's more of the us versus them thing that feels divisive versus we disagree on this policy, this decision versus it is our team versus your team and framing things as that. And if you're not with us, you're against us.
Yeah.
That is what I think is divisive.
If I'm going to look at social media, and I've been blocking a lot of people because, frankly, I'm just tired of their nonsense.
Blocked and blessed.
Yeah, I don't want to see it. But if you're going to be someone who's going on social media and says, I have something to say, if you just, kiss your side all the time, that's not critical analysis. I'm just going to ignore that. And that goes for both sides. And you don't have to, I guess maybe I used the word divisive, I shouldn't have. If you can't confront the reality of a story, whatever that is, and maybe your party's wrong this time, and you address that, I would have more respect for you. But if you just go on there and kiss, I don't have any interest in what you're doing. I'm a Republican. I criticize Republicans. I also criticize Democrats. It's easy for me because I try to live in the world of reality and facts. If you're not doing that, what are you doing? Get off social media. You're worthless to me. Is that too harsh? Maybe it is. I don't know.
I don't know if it's too harsh or not. It's unrealistic because that's part of what social media is, right? It's cheerleading, and it's also it's promoting a message. There's a lot of money in that.
I married a cheerleader, but I'm not a fan of cheerleading, especially when it comes to politics.
Not a political cheerleader though. She was an actual cheerleader.
She was a real cheerleader, captain of the cheerleaders.
Did she cheerlead in college?
No,
just high school.
No, she was getting her math degree in college, which requires a lot of effort.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right, are we moving on from
yes, we
State
are.
of the Union?
Let's move on. I just want to get to that.
This is potentially divisive. This is interesting to me, and I wonder if we can get Jeff Mandel, or maybe someone who's not involved in the lawsuit. But yesterday, a group of parents, teachers, and school districts announced that they have filed a lawsuit against the Wisconsin State Legislature and its Joint Committee on Finance for failing to adequately fund public schools across Wisconsin. So there's 19 plaintiffs being represented by Law Forward in partnership with WEAC, which is the Wisconsin Education Association Council. Now, I am less so. Basically, they're making a constitutional argument that the Wisconsin State Legislature is not holding up their end of the Constitution to adequately fund public schools because they are siphoning off funds for charter voucher programs. I don't know what the burden of proof is going to be to prove that.
I would think you'd have to prove that.
And so I am interested, maybe, I don't know if this is a Mary Kuhnmensch conversation as far as the legal parts of it go. And I don't know how much you have to prove that the decrease in funding is tied to the decrease in reading and math scores.
Yeah.
Like if that's
this is obviously a massive topic.
It is a massive topic. What is your initial reaction to it?
Well, anybody can sue almost for any reason, with a few minor exceptions. There are a group of people in the state who think we don't spend enough on education. There's also a group of, especially conservatives, who say, at some point, and I actually was spending some time last night and this morning looking at the data, if you move from 3,000 to 8,000 per student up, that correlates with some significant gains. After that, you're not getting any difference. So what's the right number? We are not on the lowest rung of the ladder when it comes to school funding. I think our funding is screwed up in how we do that. Yeah. I would also point a finger at school districts. When I drive by your magnificent facilities that include stadiums and revamped rec centers.
Well, that's not all districts. That's some districts.
A
lot of those go to referenda.
Yeah,
that's not necessarily funded by the money that's coming from the state.
But still comes out of our pockets, which is important because it's the biggest. School spending on your property tax bill is the biggest part of your property tax bill now.
So I was reading WPR's write-up about this. So from 1999 to 2000, so that was my 8th grade year, and I was in public school at that point. Public schools were funded mostly by the state. So the breakdown was 53.7% was the state. Local tax dollars funded 41.6%, and 4.7% came from the federal government. So fast forward to 2023, 2024, and the shift was 45% from the state. So that's more than 8% less. 43% was local, so a little less than 2% more.
The federal went up.
And federal went up by 12, which I think is interesting as far as people who want the demolition of the Department of Education and return everything back to the states. Like, what would happen to
are they prepared to lose that money?
Yeah, that almost 8% of funding that's coming from the federal. And like, where does that go? Is the expectation that local governments do even more then? And I don't know. And then in the same article, they in that same time frame, they showed the reading proficiency and math proficiency numbers, what they were to what they are, and we all know that there has been a decline. And is that causation or correlation?
I can argue both things. One, we should always spend more on education because I think there's value to a point, to a degree. And I can also argue that the way we fund education is stupid and it will break us because literally, I hear from seniors all the time, they don't get more money coming in, but their property tax bill, and again, the biggest piece of your property tax bill for most communities now is the school part. And these people have already paid in for 40 or 50 years. How are they finding that money? Their homes are paid for in a lot of cases. That's the problem if you keep funding it this way.
But so I guess that's the thing. For you as a Republican, do you feel like the state should be picking up closer to 53%?
We should match what we did. That should always be consistent.
Okay.
And should also have the brains to figure out that if you are talking about and cheerleading again, the dismantling of the Department of Education, where are you getting that money from, which is up to 12%? That went up over that period you were talking about. Where are you finding the money?
By a lot.
Again, it's the short-sightedness of people who love to tweet stuff out, post stuff out, talk about it on TV and radio, but they don't do the homework. That's the reality. If we don't figure this out, you're going to see more and more referendums, which make it even worse, because even though that's not the state, it's coming out of that. It's coming out of our pocketbooks directly from our checking accounts or however we're paying our bills. That's real money. This stuff has to be figured out. There should be a special session on revamping, redoing, rewriting how we fund education in the state of Wisconsin. And that requires, I'm editing my brain as I'm saying it requires a lot of cojones to do that.
Has there ever even been like a special committee designated to, as much as like they love their committees, right? The leadership, whether it's the governor or speaker or majority leaders, we're going to have a special committee on this issue, a task force to research it. Has there even been that as a first step to like what is possible?
Well, a lot of think tanks in Wisconsin have
I'm talking about from the government itself, from our state lawmakers
What
itself.
do you think the answer to that question is?
Probably no.
No.
But again, maybe this was something before I got back. Maybe this was like, I don't know. But that feels like as far as like task forces go, to go put in the work to do the research of like what is possible and what policy recommendations could be there, a good use of time.
And I'll remind my Republican friends, and that they are friends, and we don't have to be divisive, we can just disagree, that your system of sort of limiting what communities can do has resulted in an explosion of school referendums. It's not even close. Now, they don't all pass, but a lot of them do, and the number changes year to year. That is going to break the back of your constituents. So you better be thinking about this. At some point, they're going to haunt your you-know-what and say, what are you doing about this? Because it's not good, and it's not the way we should be doing things. And maybe we should do a whole hour on how other states fund schools, because that'd probably be really
like who's doing it the best?
I don't know.
I think Leston Morgan's coming tomorrow, unless his schedule gets in the way. So maybe we can ask him tomorrow. Like I think we have asked him before.
Let Leston, if you're listening.
He said Hawaii is one of the better ones.
Well, how about that?
Because Hawaii, out of all the islands, just has one district.
Yes.
So it's a different scenario. But like, what is the model? What is the gold standard?
We will ask Leston if he wants to, because we don't want to surprise him unless he's listening. Then we give him a homework assignment. Does he like a homework assignment?
Probably
I do.
Not.
All right, we'll take a break. Lots more to talk about. If you have a thought, you can certainly shove it our way. 855-616-1620. I use shove on purpose. All right, take a break.
A Friday Lenten fish fry is a family tradition, but don't wait until Friday. The Mine Chef restaurant in Hartford serves their Lent fish fry every Wednesday and Friday. WTMJ's John Mercure here. The Lent Wednesday and Friday haddock fish fry is all you can eat, $8.99. You'll pay at least twice that at other restaurants. Kids and grandkids under 5 eat free Sunday through Thursday. from that great kids menu. That's right, free. You can build your own big burger. How about a delicious chicken sandwich? Today, under $10. Desserts are buy one, get one free, and I love their desserts. There's no restaurant inflation at the Mine Shaft. Don't cook today. Enjoy the all-you-can-eat Wednesday Lent fish fry for $8.99. Cocktails, beer, appetizers, half price Monday through Thursday from 2 till 5 at the bar only. The Mine Shaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh near EAA. Walk on in today for your Wednesday all-you-can-eat haddock fish fry, $8.99. Service begins at 10:30. Dine early.
Education changes everything. It opens doors, shapes futures, and builds the foundation for our children's success. At City Ford Collective, we're working to transform our city's schools and ensure every Milwaukee child receives the high-quality education they deserve. We've taken real steps forward, but our work is far from done. This giving season, we're asking you to join us. Together, we can secure a stronger future for our children and a stronger future for Milwaukee. To support our mission, visit cityforwardcollective.org/donate. That's cityforwardcollective.org/donate.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life, rejuvenate.
So it's all too common of a story. And it's common enough that we account for a certain percentage of our new patients to make their first appointment and get cold feet. They put it off. I'm not sure why, because our physicians are offering legitimate medical pain relief treatment. The combination of hyaluronic acid and Toradol cushions joints and has an extremely powerful effect in reducing inflammation. So much so that a vast majority of Rejuvenex patients report a significant improvement with their pain. I guess it's human nature, but sometimes human nature keeps us in our comfort zone, even when it means remaining living in pain. So after you make your appointment to alleviate your pain, and that little voice tries to convince you to put it off, don't, because your pain problems can be solved, and you can live a better life.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Call today, and there's a good chance we could be seeing you tomorrow.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. Have you ever thought to yourself, I want my house to look better than it does. I just don't know where to even start or even what to do. Tri-County Contracting can help you with that. They can help you love your home again. They have the design consultants, they've got the showroom, they've got real picture renderings, they've got it all to help turn your home back into your dream home. Tri-County Contracting, WDI.com. Love your home again with Tri-County Contracting.
Academic Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
Don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval. Get the pre-approval listing agents and sellers recognized as better than the rest. The rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from AccuNet. Get yours by clicking on the blue button at accunet.com.
Lots of wisdom on the text line, 855-616-1620. Kristin was just responding. Yeah,
fast typing.
There was you were fast typing. There was a Blue Ribbon Commission on funding of schools from 2017 to 2019. I didn't have a chance. They'd sent a link, but I haven't a chance to click on it yet. But I do want to look at that because I think if we're going to have this conversation, and I knew this was a big conversation when you sent me the thing yesterday, we could spend an hour or two talking about what's the best way to do this. And I don't think we're even close to that. I want kids to learn. And, I have pretty draconian ideas about what I would allow kids to do in school. And I don't care if anyone likes it or not. Your basic core function is the basic stuff you need to learn. Reading, writing, and arithmetic, maybe some other fun stuff. I don't care if your life is miserable. You're a teenager. Who cares? You'll figure it out. I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to teach you. And if you think that's draconian, don't care. Because right now, we're not doing it. And while I love that, and here's my thing. Here's the reward. If you do those things at proficient level, the world is your...
Is it, though?
Yeah, it should be.
I mean, think about how many people are graduating from college right now and not getting jobs because those jobs are being replaced by AI. And so
that's a whole nother conversation.
the promise of do well in school, go to college, get a good job is now shifting underneath our feet. I'm not saying we shouldn't have kids who know how to do math, critical thinking, be able to read, all of that. But it is the outcome of the incentive of that is also shifting. And so...
Okay, so what do you do with that? If that's your reality, what do you do with that? Do you still do the same thing you're doing now? Because that's the definition of insanity. It's not working. Scores are going down. How are you changing high schools? That would be my question. What's the answer? We better start figuring this out, not just for kids, for adults, because the AI thing is going to transform everything.
This is going to be so woke and soft, and I know you're going to hate it. But I do, I mean, you think about what we were talking about yesterday with Norway's approach to youth sports. And the model of achievement and how we've set up schools here as far as grades and scores and, getting the check mark of getting it done versus actually learning the material. And this kind of goes into what you would put in for our next topic of kids using AI to do their work.
Cheat.
And
in some ways.
Well, depending on how it's set up, if the framework is set up that you have to get it done in order to get an A or in order to pass, and versus the enjoyment, reward, like intrinsic motivation to learn, like what are we setting up to motivate people to want to learn this stuff versus just get it done so they don't fail? And that's a much bigger question, but I think that is baked into why we're at where we're at.
It's again, maybe we're doing some big topic stages because we wanted to, but
you got to get it out before you go on vacation. You got to get this out of your system.
Chasing GPAs, right? I have met people who were brilliant in high school GPA wise, but when I have a conversation about something else, anything that's not directly related to what they studied, it's like I'm talking to a box. It's like,
well, it's
dude,
like
what are you
it's
talking
like
about?
Following the rules, doing what you're supposed to do versus actually learning the material, being able to think critically, which is a different skill set that doesn't always reflect in did you have the highest GPA?
Yeah, GPA is one thing, but I am a fan of scores. For example, I've done this same story a million times in all my iterations of my shows. When I took advanced biology, we had a set of 92 and above was an A, and just track it down all the way down to the F. That never changed. You got one crack at the test. You had to get that grade. Now, and I know this because I'm married to a teacher, kids are given multiple chances to improve their grade based on that same material.
Because the importance is the grade.
I guess.
Right?
Well,
and like
GPA,
that, and
that
GPA, and
that.
the GPA is what lets you get into college, and their GPA is what gets you a job, is people looking at your GPA and stuff like this, of like what your grade was. And we have these like binary numeric systems to judge people on that you are striving for the outcome instead of the process of actually learning and retaining the information that you're learning.
Yeah, lots of text on this. We'll talk about it a little bit more after the break. Yeah, education always touches a nerve, which it should. Quick break.
Enjoy a free dinner this week at the historic Fox and Hounds, one of the most unique and affordable supper clubs in Wisconsin. WTMJ's John Mercure here. I love the Fox and Hounds, one of my very favorite places. You will enjoy fabulous food and 90 years of history in the gorgeous stone and timber building. When you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free every single night, free. Seafood, choice steaks, short ribs, a real favorite, pasta, prime rib Wednesday and Saturday, even the steak and lobster, your second dinner is always free. Desserts and ice cream drinks, buy one, get one free. I love that chocolate cake with the extra ice cream. Unwind with an old-fashioned, a Manhattan, 20 bourbons to choose from, 100 wines from around the world. Wherever you live, it's worth the spectacular drive through the Kettle Moraine Forest for your free dinner. Just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of Holy Hill, escape from your kitchen with a free dinner this week. Man, that sounds great. Call and reserve, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Save on the best quality furniture and mattresses during the President's Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture. With major discounts from our premier suppliers, you will save big bucks on top brands like Bradenton Young, made in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Bradenton Young is known for its fine quality leather upholstery. Fjords brings you modern Scandinavian design recliners and sofas, ergonomically engineered for more hip and back support. Norwalk, with American roots that go back over 100 years, specializes in making furniture just for you. Choose the piece, style, fabric, or leather you want, and in just 35 days, we'll deliver your new sofa, chair, or sectional. In-stock or special orders are all sale priced. Need a little help putting it all together? At Ken Michaels Furniture, our design staff is ready to help you with your purchases, and it's free. Stop in today and save now during the President's Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Shopco Optical. Start the new year right. Use your vision benefits and schedule your annual comprehensive eye exam. You can check out new frame styles and order your annual supply of contact lenses all in one place. Shopko Optical is committed to quality eye care and will create personalized vision solutions tailored to your specific vision and lifestyle needs. New year, new you, new style. Call Shopko Optical or visit shopko.com to schedule an appointment at a location nearest you.
Drafty windows means wasted money. Call Siding Unlimited today for energy-efficient replacement windows and doors and start saving now. For a free estimate and honest price guarantee, go to sidingunlimited.com.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Capital Heating and Cooling and Abbey Home. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. At 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
A lot of people weighing in on the text line. There's too many to read. I'm not advocating for everyone has to go to trade school. That's a viable option because that's going to be probably the least impacted by AI of all the things you could possibly do with your life after high school. I just think we have to reshape both how we teach, how kids learn, and how we pay for schools. We have to, whether it's a think tank, whether it's multiple think tanks, Public Policy Forum or Wisconsin Policy Forum, I think they call it now. Whether it's our legislature doing what legislature should do, maybe in that period between when they usually take off from March to the fall, boy, that'd be a great window of many, many months to sort of sort it all out. Come up with a bipartisan plan to figure it out. Hey, just off the top of my head. But that would require people that are getting paid to actually work the whole year.
You done?
Yeah, I'm done.
All right. When we come back, Megan Johnson, founder and executive director of Milwaukee Diaper Mission, is here. We're going to talk more about bowling, talk about diapers, talk about fun stuff. Stay with us. It's Point Taken.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Dave.
The campus is beautiful. For me, nature is my church, and I love being outside. We live by the Bark River, and it's calming. It just calms my soul. I just love it. A lot of the people, I'm talking about 100-year-old people, they credit Three Pillars with living longer.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
America's band, the Beach Boys, celebrate 250 years of the USA. Live, the Beach Boys. August 16th at the Bank 5-9 main stage of the Wisconsin State Fair. Get tickets now at wistatefair.com. Celebrate 250 years with America's original, the Beach Boys. Wisconsin State Fair, presented by U.S. Cellular.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Day after day, year after year, the heavy lifting, the repetitive motion, and now your body feels it. Your back, your knees, your quality of life.
At Access Legal, we stand up for people worn down by work.
Workers' comp is our sole focus, and our team has recovered more than $35 million for Wisconsin workers. From sudden accidents to pain that builds over years of hard work, we're dedicated to fighting for the benefits you're entitled to. If you've been worn down by work, contact Access Legal for a risk-free consultation.
Search AXIS Legal today.
Ever wonder what it takes to feel truly wealthy and financially comfortable? Schwab asked Americans that question, and most said at least $2 million. But here's the thing, your number might be different. And that makes sense because your dreams, travel, retirement, and the legacy you want to leave are unique to you. That's why you need advice that's just as personal. The team at Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen and help you build a plan that fits your life. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
At Advent, nasal congestion and sinus infections can be solved with an in-office 20-minute procedure. Elsewhere, expect surgery.
Advent knows
Amazon Business empowers leaders with smart business buying tools, leaving time to focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future at AmazonBusiness.com.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
It's starting to feel a lot like springtime.
Off and running, huh? We are off and running.
Bye-bye baseball.
William Contreras admired half at the wall. It's gone!
Brewers baseball is back. It's a Cactus League matchup between the Brewers and the Giants. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 2. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
11 o'clock, we have 24 degrees, sunny, breezy today with a high of 29. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Connie Weber. The White House today pushing its message of a golden age of America after the president's record-long State of the Union address Tuesday, President touting his economic and immigration policies amid his lowest ever approval ratings. ABC's Karen Travers has more from the White House.
The takeaway was that it was those choreographed, pre-planned moments that really seemed to resonate after the president's remarks, not policy proposals. The president came out and declared America is winning, that it's the golden age of America, and that the country is now bigger, better, richer, and stronger than ever before. But he is doing that with some of the lowest approval ratings right now overall and on key issues.
President can test drive his midterm message when he travels to Texas this week. Vice President J.D. Vance will hit the road first with a Thursday stop here in Wisconsin, Plover, near Stevens Point, where he'll tour a manufacturing facility. Today, confirmation hearings for the president's Surgeon General nominee, Dr. Casey Means. Means' views reportedly conform to Health and Human Service Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s, including a belief in a chronic disease epidemic, which she addressed in her opening statement. Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy, himself a doctor, asked Means if she would advise parents to vaccinate their children against diseases like measles and whooping cough.
I would work with you, the CDC, the NIH, ACIP,
But would you
FDA.
encourage mothers to vaccinate their children with the MMR vaccine, seeing how we've had children die and this outbreak in South Carolina?
I'm supportive of vaccination. I do believe that each patient, mother, parent needs to have a conversation with their pediatrician.
Means' first hearing in October was postponed after she went into labor. A Milwaukee police officer accused of misusing department technology now faces criminal charges.
According to a criminal complaint, 33-year-old Josue Ayala is accused of using the department's Flock Technology license plate tracking system to check on the whereabouts of two people for personal reasons. Prosecutors say Ayala ran the license plate of one victim over 120 times and a second victim over 50 times. Ayala faces one count of attempted misconduct in public office. If convicted, he could face up to 9 months in prison and a $10,000 fine. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
The Kenosha Unified School District Board has approved walk-through metal detectors for all 6 high schools. The district will spend nearly $473,000 from its general fund reserves to purchase 18 metal detector units. KUSD resident Jack Lira.
In recent weeks, parents have expressed growing concerns about gun violence and the need for KUSD to take stronger action. In my humble opinion, measures currently under discussion, such as the use of metal detectors, are long overdue. It is my understanding that Racine implemented these safeguards in 2022, raising the question of why our district waited so long.
Parents urging the district to expand metal detectors to all schools. Green Bay Packers continuing their non-renewal exercise, a policy of declining the renewal of season tickets for account holders who repeatedly resell their seats on the secondary market.
The team specifically targets season ticket holders who purchase tickets with the sole intent of reselling them.
We've got such a great experience at Lambeau Field and we do like hosting fans from other teams.
Public Affairs Director Aaron Popke, a guest on ESPN Wisconsin's Wildy and Tausch.
And Lambeau's a bucket list. Makes for great TV to have some fans from the other team there. We would love for that experience to continue, but everything we're doing here is just focusing on maintaining and building, increasing that home field advantage.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Packers confirm less than 1% of season ticket holders lost their seats in 2025. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow is up 241 points, the NASDAQ up 245, and the S&P 500 up 47. Financial planning at every level, Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather up next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:05.
Recently, a seller that unfortunately ended up choosing another agent called me.
She said she made a mistake, and what she was expressing to me sounded like she kind of was bullied into signing with him. Is it typical? Not always, but it will never happen when you hire a Century 21 Benefit Realty agent. I want our agents to be able to look in the mirror and say, I'd want to work with me. Not because they're good at saying what you want to hear or offer the lowest commission, but because of trust. Because if you're not feeling that from your agent, that's a problem. And I don't want that. At 1.9% on the listing side of your sale with our commission capped at $19,000, Century 21 Benefit Realty leads with a very fair and transparent commission structure with maximum marketing that can get your home sold fast and for the best price. And saving money matters, but working with someone who'll tell you exactly what you need to know up front, that creates trust. And that matters too. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
You've spent a lifetime taking care of others. Now it's your turn to enjoy life your way. At Capri Communities, they offer vibrant senior living where neighbors become friends, and each day brings something to smile about.
Well, it's breakfast with the boys, and then bingo is at 3 in the afternoon. I lost that super lady I lived with for 60 years, but have found a home and doing well. The accommodations, the facilities, it's been a pleasure.
Find your perfect new home at CapriCommunities.com.
Looking for some winter magic? You'll find it in Lake Geneva. Hit the slopes to ski, snowboard, or tube. Hike or snowshoe through a state park or nature preserve. Enjoy ice skating, ziplining, and even fat tire biking. And turn mealtime inside out with a cozy igloo or barrel dining experience. When it's time to come inside, catch a show with live music, magic, or dancing horses. Check out the unique shops and boutiques and melt away the winter chill at an award-winning spa. Learn more about things to do in Lake Geneva at visitlakegeneva.com. It's always been the place for winter fun.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Milwaukee Bucks beat the Miami Heat 128-117 at home. Bucks back on the court tonight for a home game against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Men's college basketball, Marquette beat Georgetown 76-60 on the road. Tonight, Wisconsin's on the road to play Oregon. Milwaukee will host Youngstown State. On the women's side, Marquette will host Xavier for senior night, and Milwaukee will host Purdue Fort Wayne. Badger Sports Update sponsored by Siding Unlimited, siding and a whole lot more. Brewers cruised to their first win at the Spring. Milwaukee beat the A's 10-0 in Mesa. The Brewers will host the Giants this afternoon. Take a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. I-43 south at the ramp from 9th Mineral Street. Right lane there was blocked due to some debris. It looks like they have cleared that off the roadway. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Sunny, breezy, high 29 today, clear and 17 overnight. Partly cloudy, 39 for tomorrow's high. Friday, mostly sunny, windy, but mild with a high 54. Chance of light snow Saturday afternoon and evening, high of 33, and partly cloudy Sunday with a high 29. 22 in Madison, 15 in Green Bay, 24 degrees in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:08.
Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue. It's time for Point Taken. Here are your hosts, Steve Scaffidi and Kristin Brey.
Welcome back to Point Taken, the 11 o'clock hour. We are here with my good friend. So excited that she's here. I'm always excited when I see her.
Two good friends.
Yes, always Steve. I see you every day. It's not a special occasion. Megan Johnson, founder and executive director of Milwaukee Diaper Mission, is here in the studio, and we're going to talk about bowling. We're going to talk about diapers, and we're just going to talk about, let's start with, for people unfamiliar, when and why you started Milwaukee Diaper Mission.
Yes, well, thank you for having me. Thanks for having me back. I love coming on the show, and I love talking about our work as the founder. I'm proud to say that back in 2020, I found that there was a need in our community, and I had a little bit of extra time on my hands and did some research and discovered that Milwaukee didn't have a diaper bank, and most major cities did. And I became incredibly motivated about this issue, got some friends and family together, and we launched Milwaukee Diaper Mission in the middle of the beginning of the pandemic.
It's got to be daunting,
crazy.
though, to start from nothing, right?
Yeah, and especially, I don't have a nonprofit background, so I had to learn that plane while flying it. I'm still doing that.
What was your job? I actually have never asked you that. What were you doing before
I
this?
went to school for art education, and after I graduated college in 2009, there were no jobs for art teachers in Wisconsin.
It's a rough time for us millennials.
Yes, so I waited tables. I taught preschool for many years, and then my husband and I started having kids, and it just made more sense for me to stay home at that time. So I was a stay-at-home parent. I was using cloth diapers with my babies. and became very passionate about cloth diapers, and then in turn learned about the issue of diaper need and what was happening in our community, people struggling to afford them.
So every year you guys have grown year over year, how many families you're serving, how many diapers you're donating, but it is still not enough. And so you just shared that the Urban Institute did a new study. So tell me a little bit more about that and then how it what it says about Milwaukee.
Yeah, so people who are interested about data and statistics can check out the Urban Institute's website. They have the Diaper Insecurity Dashboard where you can zoom in on the U.S. and go to your county and see what the gap is, what basic needs banks in that county are doing to help eradicate this issue, and how many diapers would actually be needed in order for every low to moderate income family to be supported with diapers. So Milwaukee Diaper Mission is distributing over 1 million diapers annually, but in order to eradicate this issue, we would need to be distributing nearly 18 million diapers annually.
In the county?
In Milwaukee County, yep.
Wow.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So you're getting 1 million out there, which is impressive, but the 18 million of need. I guess Kristin was telling me something about this either yesterday or the day before. How many actual diapers you go through? I didn't even think about, like, thousands.
Thousands for the first year. And do you know how it trickles off? Because most kids get potty trained. We haven't approached it yet. We're like, we have a potty. But, by the time they're 3, a lot of kids are. But it trickles off, not trickles, but it goes down each year. But in that first year, it's like 2,500 to 3,000.
Yeah, it's a lot of diapers. If you have multiple children in the household that are in need of diapers, that's double the amount of diapers. Families are spending about $100 on average per month on diapering supplies. And that's
Is that per child?
Per child.
Okay.
And that's really for like the store brand diapers, not even your name brand, fancy organic diapers. So we know that these expenses are incredibly high for families, and they're having to choose between groceries or their energy bill and diapers on a regular basis.
So one of the things, because someone also just texted in, is about cloth diapers. And so obviously it makes sense as far as being able to reuse cloth diapers. Are there other costs built into cloth diapers or obstacles that make that a harder option for some of the families you guys serve?
Yeah, so we offer free cloth diapers to our community because we believe in the dignity of choice. We want families to have every option possible so they can choose what products they use. And so cloth diapers do have a high startup cost. They can be very expensive to start out with. However, you can save thousands of dollars over the course of years with multiple children. We do recognize that not every family has a washer and dryer in their household, and that there is an expense associated with washing diapers. But again, we're offering them as an option to our community because we believe that it should be available to everyone.
Totally unrelated, but once your kids grow out of cloth diapers, they make great car wash rags.
I knew you were going to say some kind of rag.
We did that, and man, they're the best.
And you know what?
Nice and
we get a lot of donations from families who have used these diapers.
Yeah.
They still have a lot of life left in them. They're in great condition. We sanitize them and we send them back out to families.
I love that you do both. That's cool. I don't know what the percentages of people use cloth versus the regular kind, or the disposable kind, but
it's a smaller percentage.
Is it 10%?
That use cloth. Oh, it's smaller than that.
Is it?
It's a really small amount. And a lot of that is due to stigma and education needed around the fact that cloth diapering can be accessible if you have the right supplies.
Yeah.
And we offer a class, we offer education for families.
Truly it is. I feel, because you think about 2,500 to 3,000 diapers in a year, it's also a lot of things. You talk about the environmental side of it, but there is something if you think about you're out and your kid poops, and what do you do with that poopy cloth diaper when you're out and about in a day? And so there's also opportunities to use both because of that, right?
As a parent, I loved using cloth diapers at home. And, then when we were out and about, we'd pack some disposable diapers in the diaper bag. So it's not all or nothing. It's, not one or the other.
So when you think of that gap that you were just talking about, a 17 million per year gap of what the need is versus what you, as the only diaper bank in Milwaukee County right now, are being able to supply despite huge success, right? I would say anyone who is familiar with nonprofits and what the growth has been over the last approaching 6 years for you guys, very successful. Beyond just more money, which is obviously what we need, but what are the other things you see as opportunities to continue to close that gap?
Awareness. I think, just people talking about our work, being able to be on shows like this and spread the word about our mission, community members coming into our facility for tours, for volunteering. The more people that know about what we're doing and the issue that we're tackling, the better. Of course, we're always seeking funding opportunities. We purchase over half of the items that we distribute on a monthly basis. So we do receive in-kind support from our community, but those dollars can be turned into diapers really easily with our bulk buying options. So It's really just awareness around the work that we do. And then, people supporting in any way that they possibly can.
And one of the ways to support.
You want to take a break and talk about it after the break?
Yes, one of the ways to support is to bowl. So we'll talk a little bit more about the bowling aspect of our fundraiser for WTMJ Cares on the other side of this.
Augustin Hadalick returns to the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra March 6th and 7th as soloist in Mendelssohn's soulful and fiery violin concerto. Don't miss this opportunity to hear one of the most celebrated artists of our time as he teams up with music director Ken David Mazur for an unforgettable concert experience filled with gorgeous melodies. Call the box office now to reserve your best seats at 414-291-7605 or online at mso.org. These concerts will also feature the mighty and romantic Symphony No. 3 by Johannes Brahms, as well as a self-described companion work to the Brahms Third by Detlev Glanert. It's a program of audience favorites that is sure to feature some of the most inspired music making you've ever heard. Don't miss Hadalick and Brahms at the MSO March 6th and 7th only. Visit mso.org for tickets and more information or call 414-291-7605.
Abby with Abby Windows here. I installed windows for a lady who was going to go with a cheaper bid than mine and didn't quite understand why I would only install her windows the right way. It was a 1990s home with metal-clad wood windows. She was very grateful she went with us when we found all the windows and knee walls were rotted so badly the 2x6s were crumbling in my hands. She never would have known if she would have let the other guy pocket fit those windows. If you want a customized install for your home and you want it done the right way, give Abby Windows a call today. And if somebody asks you if you know a guy in the business, you can say no, but I know a girl.
The sounds of spring, and of course,
It is out of here!
Brewers baseball is back. Spring training baseball is here.
First home run of the spring belongs to Brandon Lockridge.
Join us for our next spring training broadcast as the Brewers take on the Giants. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 2. We are the flagship station for your Milwaukee Brewers. 620 WTMJ.
We are talking to my friend, founder and executive director of Milwaukee Diaper Mission, Megan Johnson. All right, so we came to you. We came up with this. I've been involved in the Big Give Back, which is your annual big fundraiser in the fall in the past. But as far as a WTMJ Cares initiative for this year, we came up with an idea to go bowling for babies, not bowling with babies, although you can bring your kids, not bowling babies themselves and just throwing them down the lane. But we're bowling at Village Bowl in Menominee Falls on March 7th. We need up to 24 teams, so grab 3 friends, come play. Now, there was a question if you were going to be able to make it or not. Megan, are you going to be able to come?
I'm going to be able to be there.
Hey!
I'm very excited.
Although,
I know, celebrity
but
guest.
maybe not bowling. You was like, maybe not bowling. But yeah, so we're really excited about it because it feels like a fun way to have fun and do good at the same time.
You don't have to be a good bowler either. You just
you might have to be a good bowler to win.
To win, but
to win. So I told you what were the grand prizes, Megan?
No, I don't know.
So I had to run it by Mike because it's it's the family's tickets now, but we're donating our personal 4 tickets to the Packers game, a agreed upon Packers game. So they're pretty good seats. I mean, I don't know if they're indoor nice seats like Steve's, but they're pretty good seats. And also you get to go to the Tundra Trio, which is Good Karma Brands before and after big party, open bar, free food,
catered food.
You probably get to see Steve do the live broadcast from the party. So it's a really good first prize.
I mean, as someone who's never been to Lambeau,
You've never been to Lambeau.
I've never had the opportunity. Maybe I need to get good at bowling and win this thing. I'm going to try.
There, perfect. So we are looking for more teams to sign up. How can you sign up? Text BABY to 855-616-1620 or go to WTMJcares.com. Great prizes, great cause, lots of fun times with good Karma Brand talent. Me, Ben Bruss, John McCure, Vince Vitrano, Jen Latta, Alex Strofe.
It's quite a lineup.
Kyle Wallace. So yeah, we have a bunch of people.
I'll
there.
be supporting from Egypt.
Steve's already sponsored a team since he won't be here in person.
I sponsored a team.
Thank you, Steve.
What if my team wins?
I don't think. If your team is made up of Good Karma Brands people, that is part of the thing. None of us can win.
Oh, so then we'd have to give that away to somebody.
Yeah.
Or someone else would win, I guess.
You want to make it another prize for an extra points sign up? That's our newsletter. Because we're also doing a giveaway for people to sign up for.
Which I'll tell you about after the break.
Okay, so any other exciting things besides Bowling for Babies coming up for Milwaukee Diaper Mission that you want to plug while you're here, Megan?
It's just kind of business as usual right now. We are welcoming groups into our facility to volunteer. So if you have a group of friends, family, coworkers, you want to come and have a tour of the space and volunteer with us, the door is open there.
And I will say promote the volunteer opportunity, because a lot of times I think volunteer opportunities come with kind of like a lot of training that has to happen, or there's barriers to be able to help organizations because of what they do. There's no training required, right? You're
That's
there,
right.
You're wrapping diapers in packs of 20, 25?
25. If you can count to 25, you can definitely wrap diapers at Milwaukee Diaper Mission. We also, I do want to plug quickly, we have a golf outing in the summer. That's all the way in June. So people, if you're thinking about cold weather and you want, something to look forward to, take a look at our website. That info is on there.
What is the website?
MilwaukeeDiaperMission.org.
Very easy. All right.
That's easy.
Megan Johnson, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
We will have more on the other side of this on Point Taken.
If you can't handle the noise, just stay home.
Rollins bounces off the defense of Zion, drives inside, lays it in with a foul. Ryan Rollins just keeps coming at you.
The Bucks face off against the Cavaliers at Fiserv Forum.
Ryan Rollins looking like a Harlem Globetrotter.
Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:30. We are the home of the Bucks. WTMJ.
Hey, it's WTMJ, Steve Scaffidi. Valentine's month, not just a day. Well, Milwaukee Weight Loss gets that, and they're sharing the love with $300 off during their Valentine's month sale. Now through February 28th, which is rapidly approaching, it's the perfect time to fall in love with their results-getting Milwaukee Weight Loss program. What does that mean, $300 off? Well, their program is the secret to losing 1 pound of fat every day. I did it last year, lost 45 pounds. Continue to lose weight this year, maintaining and resetting my metabolism. It works. You don't have to do drugs. You don't have to do surgery. No serious side effects. You just want to look great for the summer, an event, wedding, reunion, class reunion, trip. No more losing weight and just gaining it back. Reset. Or in your case, restart your weight loss program. Visit MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Schedule your free consultation today. $300 off. Here's the number. Write it down. 262-449-1180. That's 262-449-1180, or visit MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
This is former Wisconsin Attorney General J.B. Van Hollen with a message for my fellow conservatives about online sports betting. Online sports betting is fun. It protects kids against illegal gambling websites, and it generates billions in tax revenue. But today, Madison politicians are considering a secret deal that could give exclusive control of sports betting to one Indian tribe. One Indian tribe making the majority of all the revenue? Our Constitution requires a vote of the people on expanded sports betting, but Madison insiders want secrecy. What's worse, their plan could leave Governor Evers the sole power to negotiate with the tribes. Madison politicians want to bypass our state constitution, and it could mean less accountability with control concentrated with one Indian tribe. Tell Madison, no secret deal on online sports betting. Paid for by Sports Betting Alliance.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
And don't forget, speaking of giveaways, well, you want to go to the Brewers game on, when is this game? April 14th against the Toronto Blue Jays. They won the American League Championship against the Crew. Well, if you sign up for our newsletter, which is Extra Points, comes out once a week on Sunday. It's a great read, fun to read, got recommendations. I got a really interesting one this week that you'll read if you subscribe. But you have to be subscribed. We'll give it away on the opening day broadcast on March 26th. So text the word EXTRA, EXTRA, to 855-616-1620. We'll send you a link to sign up. Please do that. We want as many as people possible to be able to win great tickets behind home plate at American Family
And we should note that for people who've been subscribed, you're also eligible.
Yeah.
It's not just the people who are signing up in this window.
Yeah.
That we want to also give the chance for the people who are early adopters to win as well.
Yeah. So speaking of tickets, so the Packers raised some eyebrows. Aaron Popke, who he's got a lot of titles for the Packers, but he's done PR. He's done some other outreach work for the team. He's been there forever, and I've interviewed Aaron for a lot of my shows. They're basically sort of reaffirming their policy that they don't like the fact that some season ticket holders, basically offload all their tickets every year to
the highest bidder.
Either other agencies that, we all know what they are, or just sell their whole season to somebody else that they're not related to, basically. I'm on the side of the Packers, and I know that's not a popular opinion, and I'm sure I'll get texts and say, what are you talking about? I would prefer that people you can keep them in your family, which I always share my tickets with family members or Packers fans that I know personally.
Mm-hmm.
I don't put them on other secondary markets or any of that stuff. I know people do. I'm not a fan of that. And I think legally the Packers can do this. I know some people are questioning this. They have the language in this agreement as a season ticket holder that they can do this. They own the tickets, not the individuals. Doesn't matter if you had them since the days of when they played at County Stadium. Does not matter. I think we have to think about these things, and I don't want to show up like I did last year at a home game where almost half the crowd is from the other side. I just don't want to. And it's not like we're a bad team. We're a pretty competitive team. If we're in last place, yeah, maybe I can get it. But this team went to the playoffs again.
So this was actually the debate on my family thread this morning.
Oh.
So my brother, I agree with you. I think my husband also agrees with you as far as we want fans who actually want to be there to be, especially when you think about how long the waiting list is. But my brother fired off this morning. Now, granted, I thought it was because I got the family tickets, even though he is the older brother. But he does not live here, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
We live here. We're planning to, for the foreseeable future, for the rest of our lives, to live here. He is a Rolling Stone. I got the tickets. I have to share them with him. He gets dibs on tickets, what tickets he wants, but they're in our names. Frankie will get these tickets. So his thought, and I would love people's opinions on this. So his thought is less, he wasn't angry because whatever. He thinks it shows a lack of creativity that this policy, as far as what is the end goal? If the end goal is you want Packer fans in seats, is there not a better way to incentivize versus threaten fans? So his off the cuff idea was, do you reward ticket holders who go to every game with a discount on their package every year?
That's not going to happen. It's about revenue. Now,
okay.
Do I believe in incentives?
So what do
Sure.
you think the actual goal is here of why not only that they're doing it, but they're publicizing that they're doing it?
The goal is to make sure that if in any way possible that the majority of fans at any Packers home game are Green Bay Packers fans. Now that's sort of the dream, because I don't care where you are. And some teams have already done this. They've made it really hard for anyone else to get tickets, including banning the secondary market sales. I think the Seahawks did something like this. They certainly had sent out stern letters, a lot of teams. But you can do incentives.
So it's not about revenue. It's about...
No, this team has plenty of revenue.
So it's about keeping the majority of the people there as Packer fans.
That would be my take, yeah.
So do you not think there's another way to do it besides threatening people who are not going to the games?
I don't mind the threat. If you're selling all your tickets, you shouldn't be a season ticket holder.
I kind of agree with you.
Yeah. Now, what's the line? If you're selling half... it sounds like what I read in the Journal Sentinel article, which talked about this, the comments from the Packers organization, is that it's somebody who clearly does not go to games at all.
Yeah, because my parents called, because this was kind of the motivation for them to pass the tickets on before either of them
which
died,
is actually
right?
smart.
Because they have no interest in going to the games anymore. I'm trying to think off the top of my head where our section is, but you have to climb stairs. It's in a part that you're either climbing up or you're climbing down, and with their age, they're like, you know what? It's a lot more comfortable to watch the game at home at this point in our lives. And so kind of with the announcement of this policy, their decision of how many games they don't want to go to anymore, they're like, all right, it's time to pass them forward. But they also called because they've always been like you as far as the tickets, they maybe go to one game and then the rest of the tickets are sold to friends and family, not to a second market. And the answer was oh, you're fine. This doesn't apply to you. So I don't think it's about, I think it is more of I don't even live in the state. I don't go to any of the games. have not gone to any of the games in a long time and am making, his second income off of being able to sell these things.
And trust me, it's pretty lucrative. I know someone that for the last, well, they don't have them anymore because they got their tickets taken away. For like 10 seasons, they sold the whole season to someone that was not related to them. And the Packers took their tickets away, which I can't stand.
I get why they're angry because I'm sure that was a lot of money that they got to pocket every year.
I just think you have to think about these things. Is it a perfect system? No. There's always going to be opponents, teams, fans there, especially with the new Bears rivalry, which is apparently heated up. We'll see what happens next year. I just don't have a problem with this. Incentives is an interesting thing to think about, but it's not going to come off ticket revenue. All right, we got local news. Ask us anything. Get those questions in. Here's now the latest from ABC.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. During his State of the Union address, President Trump signaled he would prefer a diplomatic solution with Iran on finalizing a nuclear deal. President Trump also accusing Iran of developing nuclear weapons. ABC's Patrick Reevell has more and reaction.
Iran responded to President Trump's comments in the State of the Union pretty fierily, saying that he was lying, saying it's all part of a big lie. But, going into these talks, Iran has repeatedly said that it will not ever seek to have a nuclear weapon. Its foreign minister has said that. They say they do, though, want to have a peaceful nuclear program to have nuclear power, and that they will not give that up.
Former Harvard President and Treasury Secretary Larry Summers announcing today he will resign from his academic and faculty appointments at Harvard at the end of the academic year. That according to a Harvard spokesperson, adding that the resignation was made, quote, in connection with the ongoing review by the university of documents related to the Jeffrey Epstein documents released by the government. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:31. I'm Connie Weber. Vice President J.D. Vance making a trip to the Badger State tomorrow. Vance will visit Plover near Stevens Point and tour a manufacturing facility. It's part of the congressional district represented by Republican Congressman Derek Van Orden. National Democrats have said it's one of two Republican-held districts in Wisconsin they're trying to flip this fall. Wauwatosa and West Dallas have agreed to merge their fire departments. Both common councils approving a 10-year contract to combine their resources, which will be called Milwaukee Metro Fire Rescue. Fire officials in both cities say no cuts are expected from the merger. Service will start in April. The study last year found the merger could save both cities around $7 million. Conversion of the 100 East building in downtown Milwaukee from offices to apartments is set to begin this spring. The lone caveat is that the city's Common Council must first approve extra public funds for the project. Department of City Development says higher construction costs have ballooned the project's price tag to more than $186 million. City Zoning Committee advanced a plan to give the project $16.5 million from property tax revenue connected to the project, $2 million more than previously agreed to last July. Completion now expected sometime in 2028. Time for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Right now, the markets are up. Dow up 247 points, 49,421. NASDAQ up 243 at 23,106. S&P 500 up 47 points at 6,937. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Fairly quiet out there. We do have a disabled vehicle off on the right shoulder. This is going to be I-41 North at the ramp from Ryan Road. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Sunny, breezy, 29 for the high today. Clear and 17 overnight. Partly cloudy, 39 tomorrow. Friday, mostly sunny, windy, but nice with a high 54. Chance of light snow Saturday afternoon and evening with a high of 33. And then partly cloudy on Sunday, a high of 29. 23 in Madison, still 16 in Green Bay, 24 degrees in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:33.
Hey, this is Steve Scaffidi for Advent. I had some snoring issues that kept my wife up at night. That led to poor sleep and a lot of tired mornings on the radio, and nobody wants that, trust me. But it's simply, my nose wasn't working the way it should. I decided to go to Advent for a quick 30-minute visit, one of their great facilities, talk to a bunch of their doctors. They really put me at ease. After a really simple sleep study at home, in my own bed, they determined the root cause of my problem had to do with my sinuses and nasal passages in my breathing triangle. I didn't even know I had a breathing triangle, so I went to see Advent. After a short procedure done in office, I'm back to breathing well, and my wife and I are both back to sleeping through the whole night. The best sleep we've ever had, that could be you. If you struggle with restless nights like I did, take the time to see how Advent can help. To find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your life and your nights a whole lot better, go to AdventKnows.com, schedule an appointment today. Because Advent knows, when you breathe well, you live better.
Advent knows.
With Pella, you get so much more than stunning windows and doors. You get the Pella experience. Pella manufactures, sells, installs, and services every product. And with a 10-year labor warranty, your windows and doors are worry-free for years to come. If something goes wrong, we're here to handle it because you work with the same team from start to finish.
Right now, get 0% interest for up to 48 months.
Visit PellaWI.com today.
Planet Fitness has everything you need anytime the motivation hits, so you can give everything you've got. With most clubs open 24 hours, you've got access to our best-in-class equipment to tackle early morning reps, late-night miles, and every workout in between. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends February 27th. You ready? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Now it's time for Ask Us Anything on Point Taken. Got a burning question? Give us a call or text on the Siding Unlimited talk and text line at 855-616-1620.
Actually, some questions just popped in. We're just talking about the lack of questions, but then I just refreshed, and I see one about being Italian. I see one about We Energies. Somebody asked the question about what we were just talking about. So if you don't have season tickets, how do you get tickets? Well, have friends who have tickets.
Well, no, I think it's like if the thought is everyone who has season tickets has to go to every game, how do people who want to go to games get tickets? And I don't think that's what they're saying. I think the feeling is that you can still go to some of the games, and the hope is that you're encouraging people to sell tickets to other Packer fans.
Yes, but here's a reality that I don't know if I've talked about this on the air before or not. I'm a season ticket holder. I get a lot of communications from the Packers. I would say at least 4 times last year, late in the week, in advance of a weekend game, Sunday or sometimes Sunday night or Monday, the Packers have said to all of us, we have a allotment of tickets that was for the other team. They have turned back in. Tickets are available. So if you check with the Packers ticket office, you might be able to buy a ticket late in the week for a game that didn't even exist a few days before. So look at that option. Or know someone that has Packer tickets.
Or know
someone. Like, for example, I went to 6 of the 8 home games last year. The other 2 I was out of the country. And one was my relative used it, and the other one was Alex Strofe and his fiance. Now
fiance?
Yeah. So that's how I handed out my other 2 tickets. So it can be done. I get that I call it a Christmas club. You can pay for all your Christmas by selling a few games. I get that people make money on it. I don't like it. I don't like that behavior. It seems more commerce than caring about your team. And I'm all about caring about the team.
All right, here's a question.
Yes.
I know, Steve, that you're Italian. Have either one of you, so that includes me, been to Scordato's Bakery off of Howard Avenue and 51st Street? Their Italian cookies are so good, as are their breads. I have not.
I have not either. It sounds like a commercial for Scordato's. Now, you had me at cookies and bread, because as Italian, Sicilian specifically, best bread, best cookies, my opinion, obviously biased. So I will check out, because I know exactly where that is, Scordato's Bakery off of Howard and 51st Street. And I would say Lauren, who's a big fan of the show, and me, and probably you as well. Lauren, who are you a bigger fan of on the text line, me or Kristin? She knows what she's talking about, so I'm going to check it out. Scordato's. All right. How can I always got to make sure this is a question before I start reading it. It has to do with bonus executive compensation from We Energies and still raising rates. Well, you know how the rate process is confusing and convoluted and doesn't necessarily benefit us.
But it is interesting as far as the model. We talked about this a little bit at the event on Monday. As far as, and I get it. I get that the incentive to do the upfront investment on a utility, whether that's putting, fiber optics in the ground or telephone lines or power plants, is you need to let them be a monopoly, right? Is like you get the customer base. But then they're also publicly shared companies who are accountable to their shareholders.
Yes.
And there is an inherent tension. And granted, they are overseen by a regulatory body, being the PSC, as far as how they can't just willy-nilly raise rates. It has to be approved. Mm-hmm. But there is an inherent tension on doing what's best for a customer that has no option to go somewhere else versus being accountable to your shareholders to maximize profits. Like, it's not a great system. I'm not saying I know a better way to do it, but like it is very frustrating as a customer to not be able to have a different option when you feel like not only my rates going up, but then it takes 3 days to get the power back on after a storm.
So here's the downside of that. Texas, last time I did a story or a feature on power, which is a while ago, on like 2 shows ago, I believe Texas has more than double-digit number of power companies in the state. And what happens is it causes a lot of confusion, and you have a lot of electricity supply problems, and that's how it usually manifests down there. So there's always, give and take on this stuff. So look, and I've talked about this extensively over the last 10 years or 9 years I've been on the show, which Friday is my anniversary, by the way.
Wow.
9 years doing radio, which I love all you guys, and thanks for listening over the 9 years. It is always interesting to me that we talk about this stuff, but we have so little control over it. You made the point. It's like I don't set the rates. I don't have an option. I got to pay it, and I'm pissed when I opened my gas and electric bill 2 bills ago, and it was the highest I've ever had in my house since 1993. I'm pissed about that.
Yeah, and there's nothing you can do about it unless
isn't.
you want your power turned off.
All right, I think my wife just asked the question.
Oh.
Or someone put her name in a... All right, I'll
take
read
a break.
that.
We'll review the questions and come back with more on Point Taken after this.
A Friday Lenten fish fry is a family tradition, but don't wait until Friday. The Mine Chef restaurant in Hartford serves their Lent fish fry every Wednesday and Friday. WTMJ's John Mercure here. The Lent Wednesday and Friday haddock fish fry is all you can eat, $8.99. You'll pay at least twice that at other restaurants. Kids and grandkids under 5 eat free Sunday through Thursday from that great kids menu. That's right, free. You can build your own big burger. How about a delicious chicken sandwich? Today, under $10. Desserts are buy one, get one free, and I love their desserts. There's no restaurant inflation at the Mine Shaft. Don't cook today. Enjoy the all-you-can-eat Wednesday Lent fish fry for $8.99. Cocktails, beer, appetizers, half price Monday through Thursday from 2 till 5 at the bar only. The Mine Shaft restaurant in downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh near EAA. Walk on in today for your Wednesday all-you-can-eat haddock fish fry, $8.99. Service begins at 10:30. Dine early.
When it's 40 degrees in your living room and you've started using the toaster as a hand warmer.
And the dog is wearing more layers than a lasagna.
And you're using a blowtorch to defrost your Cheerios.
And you're considering burning the coffee table for warmth.
Then it's officially time to call Capital. We offer same-day heating repair service 7 days a week.
And for a limited time, all our heating service calls are free when we make the repair.
Just call Capital. We'll banish the brrr.
Call CapitalCares.com.
3 generations ago, it was about doing one thing and doing it right.
Hardwood, tile, carpet, floors that had to last because our name, Adair, was on them. Over time, homeowners asked us to do more. Kitchens, bathrooms, full remodels. And so our name changed to Adair Floors and Remodeling.
But flooring has always been the foundation, literally.
And it's something the next generation already understands.
Hi, I'm Ava. Hi, I'm Quinn. My dad does floors.
From hardwood and luxury vinyl plank to tile and carpet, we handle selection, layout, and professional installation.
And because we also remodel homes, we know how flooring works with everything else. Transitions, finishes, and long-term durability.
When you hire Adair, you're getting experience you can stand on and people who will be here for decades to come.
Call my dad. Bye-bye.
Adair Floors and Remodeling. Built on flooring, trusted for remodels. 3 generations, 1 standard. Call us at 414-761-3660 for your free flooring estimate.
Off the medication and feeling so much better. Vince Vitrano here for Connect Chiropractic. One of my fellow patients, Tiara, she suffered from severe neuropathy, that's tingling and numbness in the extremities. She tried everything, finally sought care at Connect Chiropractic, and months in, her nervous system is in better sync. She's dropped 2 medications, including some heavy painkillers, because Connect Chiropractic is treating the source of the problem, not the symptoms. In Delafield, Wauwatosa, and Oak Creek, GoConnectCairo.com.
Skylight Music Theater presents the Spitfire Grill, a heartfelt Wisconsin-born musical of redemption and second chances. This 25th anniversary production features a 5-piece band. The Spitfire Grill, February 27th through March 15th. Tickets at skylightmusictheater.org.
Ask Us Anything, something we do every Wednesday at 11:35-ish. So if you're watching the State of the Union last night, I think there's only 4 justices there. One of the texters asked us, is that normal? Well, the normal is, over history, has been 6 to 8 have attended. Now, the last years, it's only been 4. All 9 are invited. I think I was just reading it quickly during the break. I don't think there's been a case in recent years where all 9 showed up. There's always the point of view that says justice should be neutral. We shouldn't be at an event and they're super partisan now. They're not like they used to be.
But it wasn't partisan as far as who showed up last night.
No, it was mixed.
It was mixed.
Yeah, it was.
I would say the one liberal justice that came was Kagan.
Yeah, it was 3-1, right?
But 2 of the people who were there voted down the tariffs, and some, as I would say, if you want to call them supporters, but 2 of the people who vote the most in favor of Trump's policies were not there. So I don't know if alignment to this administration really had anything to do with who came and who didn't.
Yeah, no, I don't think it has nothing to do with it. It changes every year, and it's up to they don't have to go. It's not required. Just like, I think with the number, I didn't see the final number, but it was more than 50 reps or senators chose not to show up. I think all of them are Democrats, unless there was somebody who was ill. So that's sort of a big number. I would not be shocked if, I'd be curious what you think, since we're sort of talking about this, if in the future it becomes more and more the case that the opposition side may not show up.
I mean, probably would have done them well to not show up, because then they would have not been blamed for not standing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, which is
if they just weren't there.
Well, you were reading stuff about, because somebody asked about the constitutional piece of this.
So I was when that corrected. It is in the Constitution that they have to do it, but they don't have to do it in person.
Yes, but they don't have to do it in person.
So it could be written,
which is how many presidents used to do it.
Because it was a lot harder to get to the Capitol in a century or so ago.
Because you had to travel there and all that stuff. We get it, but I mean, I just don't know if it has any magic anymore, if that's the right term. I'm watching.
Did it ever have magic?
I think so, because there used to be, I'm trying to think when it sort of died, maybe before Bill Clinton, where on some things, even in Reagan's administration and his speeches, both sides would rise up. It's like, and Reagan was considered divisive in his time. Like, if that could happen for him, why the hell can't it happen now?
But is that the point? Is get people to have standing ovations?
Oh, otherwise it's just a rally for the side that's in power, right?
I mean, what was the original intent? To be able to talk about these are the things we've accomplished and this is where we're going.
State of the country, State of the Union. Here's what's going on. Here's what we're working on. Here's what we did. There's value in that, but maybe, and you made the point earlier about maybe don't put it on TV. Yeah, maybe. I watched it secondhand. I'm reading a book. It's in the background. That's all I needed. Because I already knew everything was. Actually, you can find the text of the speech right before it goes live. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you can. A couple of years ago, I read it before. That would have been Joe Biden did a speech. It's actually illuminating to read the words versus the listening, waiting for
the presentation.
Waiting for those applause lines or somebody stumbling over words or whatever, and they all do it. Both sides. A lot of people win on the season ticket thing. Doesn't the lack of home field advantage feeling have more to do with the age of season ticket holders than opposing teams' fans? The old party like the young, the old don't party like the young. It's just facts. The demographics changing at games, I've noticed it. Now, if you ask me 15 to 20 years ago, it was an old demographic. That's changing. And I've sat all around the bowl in friends' seats. I've gone out in the bowl during the game because I can go inside and out. There's a lot of young people at games. And maybe that's just the family. I've turned them over as well. That demographic's changing. Time doesn't save anybody. You're going to be gone at some point. You got to do something with your tickets. And you were talking about you taking your parents' tickets. I actually have the paperwork on my desk to gift my daughters my tickets. But
who gets which seats?
But here's the thing. So I have the outside packet.
2 and 2. Yeah. They're very different.
It's no gift. I get
you have to pay for it.
I get a bill. Yeah. It's not. You're not giving them anything. They're paying a lot of money. And inside.
Well, what the gift is you don't have to wait in line for decades.
I got to ask them if either
them.
one of them. I don't think they're on the waiting list because there would be no reason to be, because we have tickets. I have to ask him that question. 155,000 on the waiting list.
All right, here's a question. Will you have time to, this is for you specifically because of all your travel. Will you have time to start your garden in your greenhouse?
Yeah, actually, great question. So I was just I've got my greenhouse now. I always do it in stages. It becomes like a storeroom for all my winter stuff, and then I've started to gradually pull that out. So right now, I've staged it for what I do, and you're going to benefit from this. I sprinkle some easy-to-grow flowers, like marigolds and a few other varieties, in my barrels that eventually will hold tomatoes. And even in this cold weather, my greenhouse it was 75 the other day. They'll start to grow, and by beginning of April, I'll have, if you're watching on YouTube, and you should watch on YouTube if you can, I have marigold plants that are already flowering that are, if you're looking at my fingers, 6 inches tall. You'll get some of those because marigold seeds, they're like cheap. I just grab a bunch of, the ones that have already flowered from last year. I keep them in a bag, and I just sprinkle them in my barrels. I got unlimited free flowers.
Hey.
And you'll benefit from that.
I'm very excited. I am getting the itch now that the snow's gone.
Yeah.
But the ground is very frozen. But looking at what the remnants of how bad my yard looks right now, I'm very excited for once it's warm enough to start working in there.
And also, since you asked about the greenhouse, I bought some seeds for a specific type of tomatoes in Sicily last year that I want to get those going as well. I've never grown this time. It's off the top of my head. I think it was Pomodoro or something like that. I've never grown them. We'll see what happens. That's the update on the greenhouse. Last chance to get your questions in, 855-616-1620, deciding unlimited WTMJ talking text line. Steve, Kristin, point taken.
Enjoy a free dinner this week at the historic Fox and Hounds, one of the most unique and affordable supper clubs in Wisconsin. WTMJ's John Mercure here. I love the Fox and Hounds, one of my very favorite places. You will enjoy fabulous food and 90 years of history in the gorgeous stone and timber building. When you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free every single night, free. Seafood, choice steaks, short ribs, a real favorite, pasta, prime rib Wednesday and Saturday, even the steak and lobster, your second dinner is always free. Desserts and ice cream drinks, buy one, get one free. I love that chocolate cake with the extra ice cream. Unwind with an old-fashioned, a Manhattan, 20 bourbons to choose from, 100 wines from around the world. Wherever you live, it's worth the spectacular drive through the Kettle Moraine Forest for your free dinner. Just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of Holy Hill, escape from your kitchen with a free dinner this week. Man, that sounds great. Call and reserve, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert with my son David, president of Accunet. David, we're pre-approving a lot of home shoppers this time of year. Why should someone choose Accunet for their pre-approval?
Dad, getting pre-approved with just any lender is like showing up to a first date in sweatpants. Sure, you're there, but are you really ready to impress? Our rock-solid pre-approval is like showing up in your best outfit with reservations already made. We also have an excellent reputation among real estate agents, so having Accunet's name on your pre-approval can make the difference.
What else?
In addition to clearly stating we verified your credit, income, and down payment, we'll also run the specific home you're looking to buy through our underwriting software to see if we can approve your loan without an appraisal, which sellers and their agents absolutely love. Bottom line, we do everything possible to help you win.
Thanks, David. Don't settle for anything less. Get started with your rock-solid pre-approval by clicking on the blue button today at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. As the days get longer and Wisconsin weather shifts, it's a good time to check your home's comfort. If your house felt drafty this winter, it may be time for an upgrade. Hometown offers energy-efficient windows and doors from Bella, Marvin, Anderson, and more. All on display in their New Berlin showroom, all installed by Hometown employee carpenters. Wood, vinyl, or Fibrex, they have options for every budget. Call my friends today at Hometown Windows and Doors. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need.
Start your Milwaukee weight loss program now to lose weight fast. Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. Call for your free weight loss consultation, 262-449-1180. That's 262-449-1180 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Tune in to Wisconsin's Midday News with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Milwaukee police launched an internal investigation into the handling of information linked to allegations of sexual assault against the president of the Wisconsin Center District.
Bringing you the latest in news, sports, traffic, and weather.
Andrew Mountbatten Windsor has been arrested. The brother of King Charles, who was stripped of his royal titles due to his ties to Jeffrey Epstein, was arrested in the UK on charges of misconduct while in public office.
Every weekday from noon until 3 p.m. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
A few minutes left of the Hump Day edition of Point Taken. Question for Kristin. Do you think the USA women's hockey team should have attended the State of the Union address, even though they got invited only after the men, even though they won their gold first?
I don't know the series of events as far as we still don't know if Trump called the women like he called the men. I feel like if they had, maybe that would have been reported. I will say to the credit, I think that probably the PR teams for Team USA has told the instructions to the players has been try to let this pass. Because the Hughes brothers have talked about it a little bit, but in very, very vague terms, which a lot of the online people who were angry about it did not feel like was sufficient. Really, I haven't heard any of the women talk about it. So I think probably a lot of them are like, let's just move past it. What will be interesting is because if you listened to an applause line last night, President Trump did say at the 250th birthday party this year, both the men's and women's team will be invited. And he specifically said the women's team. So I think whether or not they want to go this summer will be interesting to watch. I think in what happened after the men's game this time, I don't know. It would be interesting to see if any of them would actually talk about it. It's because a lot of them are still in college. Like the Badgers were coming back this week. And so other priorities, other commitments versus going to the State of the Union. But, there's also 5 men who didn't go. So I think in this scenario, it was totally fine that they declined.
It's their choice.
It'll be interesting to see if they want to go this summer. But also, why was it just the hockey teams? There's a lot of other people, including Wisconsin native Jordan Stoltz. So it's there's other people who won gold medals who also why was it just the men's hockey team? Just because that is a dominant cultural sport?
Yeah, I don't know. I think they handled it with class and grace, which is what I would expect from an Olympian. All right, do you guys seek out your promotional activities, or do they reach out to you? Both ways. We seek out stuff. You find things to do. I find things to do outside. I've done things for Freighterts. I do an annual event every year talking about rare cancer. I love that. It's volunteer. The stories are amazing. The people are amazing. You do so much great work, including your Bowling for Babies, Milwaukee Diaper Mission, not just this, but other things. So we just love to do it. If you're interested, just reach out, WTMJ.com. You can find our emails, and we'll get the balls rolling.
Get the balls rolling.
All right, we'll do it again tomorrow. News is next on 620 WTMJ.
If you need a place for new home interior ideas, then you have to come talk to us. Our on-staff